Mr. Wright, do you know why patrol cars are painted black and white? No idea. Why? You want glasses with a hidden camera? That would be cool. Well, I think they're designed after a panda. A panda? Not that I have scientific proof, it's just a theory. Do you mind asking me how you came up with that theory? It was when I was at school trip I saw a patrol car and it came to me. We'd just been to the zoo, see? Uh-huh. What about zebras? Or do they not have those at your zoo? Look, that patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. Then I said, hey, you do that, your suit will get cold, buddy. That's hilarious, sir. I laughed so hard I cried. I guess he wasn't saluting, he was wiping tears from his eyes. They make a good pair. Detectives in there look pretty busy. Just imagine, right now, behind those doors, the police drama in action. Somehow a thought fails to excite me. I was wondering about that. What, the dancing blue badger? That's my masterpiece. Oh god, he made this. Gumshoe's a handy dude. You made this, Detective Gumshoe? The chief threw together some designs and I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered so it can go anywhere. There's no switch on it, so it just dances and dances until the batteries die. Seems like a very big design flaw. Poor Blue Badger, fated to dance until he drops. That's going to be entered into the court record, really? Wow. The usual wanted posters are hanging up on the bulletin board here. Do you know this face? If you do, dial 911. You know, Mr. Wright, I've always thought it kind of funny. I've never seen anyone who looked like the people in these posters. They hardly ever look human. She has a point. So we got this. I want to see if we can zoom in on this broken... Oh, we can't actually forensically examine this. Interesting. I want to see if we could zoom in on the broken part of the head. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Why not? Huh? Well, it's just the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. So that was his ID then. That's the first time I've actually seen specifically that that was the victim. But what if she's not telling the truth? Yes, well, no. Come on, pal, there's plenty of evidence against her. What if the evidence was fake? Hey, pal. Can I speak to you for a second? Me? Why is this little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect. She's Lana Sky's sister. Whoa! Chief prosecutor's little sister? Just please investigate the case carefully, okay? Scientifically. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like fate. Huh? It's a sensitive issue with us these days. So what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs. What? What did you do this time? What do you mean this time? As opposed to all the other times. Then what happened? I know things are busy right now, I mean, with my sister's case and all. It's true, we've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Only the highest ranked people are being let into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranking guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. Right, so he's temporarily been kicked out. I thought he meant that they've dismissed him from the whole department entirely. They're just saying keep out until the case is done. Wait, none of you? I know this is important as a trial, but that's a little odd. So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the badger dancing pat down. Okay. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? The chief of police himself is directing the investigation, pal, and Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Yeah, we've met him. Now I think about it, Yuma did seem to know that Marshall guy. A patrolman in charge of the crime scene. It's unheard of. Wait, he's a patrolman? Really? That guy's a patrolman? Wow. Let's talk to him about this. As a detective, I have to keep my mouth shut on that one. I know better than to go blabbing about things I don't know about. No, I wouldn't want you to do that either. Good. Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife. What would drive Chief Prosecutor Skye to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean... I'm sure, of course somebody else really did it. Someone who must have had a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. Again. The car and the knife do seem a little too organised to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, what could have happened? I have to find out a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. Alright, so that's the same text for the knife. What about the trophy? Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Okay, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award, even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers must be because of the rumours? Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this? Huh? Hey pal, this is the detective's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it into the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see, Bruce Goodman. Goodman. Sounds familiar. No, my mistake. But didn't you work together? Whoa, now I remember. Bruce Goodman. He's the victim. That's what I thought. Can you tell us more, Detective Gumshoe? Let's talk to him. So, this ID card belonged to the victim? He was a detective like myself, Detective Bruce Goodman. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transfer for the case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transfer, Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is Chief Prosecutor Skye called him out there to the parking lot. So Lana's confessing as much as that. He's in a tough spot again. Again? Well, it all started with the murder of the defense attorney Hammond. But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent. Listen, pal, there's always been rumours about Mr. Edgeworth forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumours. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering, they're practically shouting. But there's no evidence against him. Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always been unusually strong ties to the department's higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious. I had no idea he was under the gun. Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumour. People say the only reason he took this case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor's position himself. What? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this. He's doing this for all of us. And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know. Okay, thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who is, what was his name? The guy in the parking lot? Oh, that'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the Chief of Police. Officer Marshall, is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer from the West LA. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this, and they'll let you examine the crime scene, maybe. So Detective Gumshoe's letter of introduction. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere. Just act like you're supposed to be there and nobody will look at you twice. Interesting. What is this? Written on it. Try and turn it around so we can see it properly. Something about $20. Hey, look here. Looks like something's been crossed out. Maybe it was a letter to, or something to Detective Gumshoe. Let's see. Annual bonus $20. Oh no. I think a couple of zeros are missing. No, that sounds about right, at least in that detective's case. Maybe I should rethink my career as an investigator. Gumshoe gets $20 bonus for a year. Wow. Alright. I guess we're going back to the parking lot. This investigation's still going. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, baby. That would be the boyfriend that she talked about. Oh, still here? Ah, hello. Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention I've got a boyfriend in the criminal affairs too? What happened to the security guard? Interesting. Oh god, it's going to be him, isn't it? Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You're looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. He's leaving hair all over the place. Alright. Can we talk to him a little more? He probably won't talk to us until we do the letter of introduction. But let's try. There's something I wanted to ask you. Scene of the crime, a cold grave for men who've lost their dreams. Me? I watch over them as they sleep, dreaming of the deserts of harsh judgment. He's asleep? Well, should we show this hopeless case something to catch his interest? Yeah, okay, we need to show him the thing. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right to the spittoon. A letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? That old cowdog? You holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. Ah, I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries, this proves it's from Detective Gumshoe better than a blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right, he's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me. Hey, wait a second. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settlers, strike for out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. No, they're not, Ema. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? You say this guy's crazy. We won't be needing that anymore. Detective Gumshoe, letter of introduction, or invitation rather, crumpled. And gone. Let's ask him about this. The, thingy. Alright, compadre, count to 3. Huh? You gotta do that if you're gonna draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas. You're from LA. Remind me never to visit Texas. 5:12 p.m. The prospectus. Right red steed came in at a trot real slow like. A trot? My Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later. So it seems Chief Prosecutor, or Prospector, I'm going to say what he says even though he's saying it wrong, was lying in wait, maybe waiting for our prince to ride in on his bright red horse. What you mean is, the killer intended to use Edgeworth's car all along. Okay, count to 3 again, with the evidence. I guess that's just what he says when he doesn't want to talk about it. Ah, a toy shield suits the boy well. What exactly could you shield that with that? Toy knight, maybe? Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth? You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective... Wait, what? He was a detective? I got one of these. Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives? Hey, they could use the same shield over and over and just put a different plaque on the bottom. Note to self, the prosecutor's office and criminal affairs office are surprisingly cheap. You know it, they've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I tell you. Interesting. So he just said when he was a detective. So he got bumped back down to a patrolman. What's that, some sort of police passport? This is Detective Goodman's ID card, strangely enough. We found it a good distance away from the crime scene. Good distance in this rat hole. If you want distance, get yourself to Texas. Texas. This is a tiny little crime scene. This is a tiny little town with a tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre? Note to self, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. There's no better way to study than to hang out with the pros. Alright. Now we can talk to him. Officer Marshall, could you tell us about the victim? Good men always die young, remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman? He was the detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty dog there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. Smiling Madonna told me the tale. Think he means the witness, Miss Angel Starr? One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. She said something about him stabbing over and over again. This here's the autopsy report. One knife wound died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. That's a really weird way to say 5:15 to 5:30. Wait. Died? Wait, that is a weird way. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. So what they're saying is, it took him an hour and a half to die? So he was actually stabbed at 4? You're gonna hit the hay now? Okay, Erica, see you later. That's interesting how that's worded. Don't forget to check the Discords. I will definitely have a look. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's what it's saying. An hour and a half of 4 p.m. So they're saying he was stabbed at 4 p.m. and it took him about an hour and a half to die. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention it, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back, so there was no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason he didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to this parking lot. It's just a general time frame. Yeah, it's just the strange way that they word it, though. You know, because we've seen that before, where they said died between here and here. They've usually written it that way, like died between 4:30 and 5:30 or something, or died between 5 and 5:30. But to say loss of blood and then died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. is almost like saying 4 p.m. is important. You know, like that's when he was stabbed and it took him an hour and a half to die. It's just a strange way for them to word it. Maybe it is just odd. You know, there's no reason for it. But there's no reason they couldn't just put, you know, stabbed and died at 5:30 or 5 to 5:30. If you get what I mean. So it's like a very intentional wording. So it seems like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. Don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective? You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. I was one of them fancy shoot detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really? 2 years again. 2 years ago, Goodman had a case. 2 years ago, this guy got bumped. Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambinas? So why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out on the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do, nothing important at least. He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? That cow dog's been kicked out of this cattle run by order of the police chief, chief of police. Police of chiefs? But he don't realize it yet. So he's probably gunning for Gumshoe's job. Because Gumshoe's all pally with Edgeworth and now he's got a tainted reputation. The Detective Gumshoe was kicked out of the investigation. But that's the autopsy report. I'm going to have a quick check of this. Let's have a read of this. Date and time of death, February 21st between 4 PM and 5:30. Right, so they are saying that it was a pretty big murder window because of death of blood loss from a chest wound. Because of that type of wound, he may have bled out slowly. So it's going to come down to whether or not that people say, oh yeah, he definitely was stabbed at 5:15. If we get any kind of testimonies that say he was stabbed at 5:15, this would cast a lot of doubt on that. Yeah, wound was caused by a 5.5-inch knife. Single stab wound was found. Again, that woman also said that he was. She like remembers it clearly, like being stabbed multiple times. The pounding of, you know, like the knife or whatever however she put it. So already we're seeing some potential lies. Alright, let's have a look at this. Now we can finally have a gander at the car. What have we got down here? That's a phone. A yellow cell phone. Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What's so scientific about that? We should check it out. So there's a strap here. Man, what a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know. Here, check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. These are hard to come by, you know. See, the series is as popular as ever with the kids. Alright. So the back's got nothing on it, but we can push that button there. Beep. This phone's still on the redial screen. Mr. Wright, most phones keep a record of the calls they've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you never know with people from your generation. Whoa, okay, millennial, chill. Whatever, let's check the phone out. Man. He's only like 24 as well. Now to see who the owner of the phone was that they last called. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. That's a ringtone. Hey, that song, I know that. Hey, what's going on over there? Beep. Ah, oh, sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed redial on that there phone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prosecutor Skye. What? It's my sister's? She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone, except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ringing just now, one of those newfangled ringtones. So the phone that she was trying to call is here in this area as well. Oh, that? Oh. I'm sorry, that was my phone. Ooh. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone, a wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. They shoot people for a lot of things in Texas, apparently. I'm in sight of the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. Does he honestly think that just as he pressed redial on this phone, his own phone started ringing because somebody else just randomly called? I think not. This rope, is it? Yep. They laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. This appears to be the car where the body was found. It looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. Crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car, it just screams I have money to burn. Yeah, but prosecutors get the big bucks. A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are relegated to B block. I dream of the day when I will be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. So B block is through the other side. That's where the visitors park. I can see the lunchline car from over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. I can see a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy looking steak. That's so wrong in so many ways. Yeah, doesn't that strike you as a little creepy? Just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. Cannibal cows. I think we got everything. Alright, we can talk to him about one more thing. There's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister. That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. My condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... something between the cop and her sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind that's a-blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will. Something's up. Someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth, For their source, you found one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? Hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. What, my sister? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. What you're saying, Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets, which we found in the last trial. That's what the old timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere, everyone knows it. That's why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was close to Edgeworth? Interesting. By the prosecutor's office again while Edgeworth is gone. You show him this? No, he has to keep his mouth shut. Okay, what about the phone? Okay, well. Well, guys, I mean, looking at the time as well, I think this is a good time to take a, well, to finish the stream rather, not take a break. God, what am I talking about? So, I'm going to save this right here. We'll have a think about this. We'll probably end up playing this tomorrow as well, because I still don't really have a clue what I want to play next. So, yeah, I'll have a think about it.